Sleep 2 Business Genius, Business History, Fact number 19 of 107-minute read. Subscribe, like and share. The engine that changed everything. In 1769, a Scottish instrument maker named James Watt patented a critical improvement to the steam engine. It was not, strictly speaking, an invention. It was a refinement. But that refinement set off the Industrial Revolution and transformed human civilization. By Sleep to Business Genius, Business History, Britain, 1769. A Watt beam engine with flywheel, the machine that took steam power from novelty to the driving force of industrial production, and changed how the world worked forever. Let your breathing slow. Let the noise fade. And listen for the sound of a new world being born. The sound is mechanical. A rhythmic, heavy breathing of steam and iron. A beam rising and falling. A flywheel turning, slowly at first, then faster, then settling into a steady, relentless rotation that will not stop for as long as the fire beneath the boiler burns. This is the sound of James Watt's improved steam engine, working in a factory or mine or mill somewhere in the English Midlands in the 1770s or 1780s. And it is, in the most literal sense, the sound of the modern world beginning. Watt did not invent steam power. He transformed it. He made it efficient enough, reliable enough, and versatile enough to power an entire civilization. That is a more consequential achievement than invention. The problem with Newcomen. Britain 1712 to 1769, the engine that preceded Watt. The steam engine that existed before what was the Newcomen atmospheric engine, invented in 1712. It worked, after a fashion. It could pump water from mines, which was its primary purpose. But it was spectacularly inefficient. It wasted enormous amounts of energy because it repeatedly heated and cooled the same cylinder. Hot steam was admitted to push a piston down, then cold water was injected to condense the steam and create a vacuum that pulled the piston back up. Every cycle wasted most of the heat energy put into it. In 1763, a young instrument maker at the University of Glasgow named James Watt was asked to repair a model Newcomen engine. Tinkering with it, he identified the core inefficiency immediately. The alternate heating and cooling of the cylinder was wasting up to 3/4 of the steam's energy. His solution was elegant: add a separate condenser, so the cylinder could remain hot all the time while the condensation happened in a separate vessel that was always kept cool. Watt's patent. James Watt patented his separate condenser in 1769. In partnership with Birmingham manufacturer Matthew Boulton, he began commercial production of the new engine in 1775. By 1800, Boulton and Watt had sold over 500 engines to mines, mills, and factories across Britain. Watt's engine used roughly 75% less fuel than Newcomen's for the same output. The unit of power, the watt, is named in his honor. From pump to prime mover. Newcomen's engine could only go up and down. It was good for pumping, but little else. Watt's subsequent improvements transformed steam power from a pump into a universal prime mover. His double-acting engine, patented in 1782, used steam on both sides of the piston, doubling the power output. His sun and planet gear converted the reciprocating motion of the piston into rotary motion, meaning the engine could drive a wheel, and through a wheel, almost any machine. The consequences were transformative. Mills no longer needed to be built beside rivers to harness water power. Factories could locate anywhere coal could be delivered. Production could continue regardless of the season, the weather, or the flow of water. The constraints that had limited industrial production for centuries dissolved, one by one, in the heat of a Watt boiler. By the early 19th century, steam engines were powering textile mills, iron foundries, pottery works, breweries, flour mills, and printing presses. They were pumping water from deeper mines than had ever been worked before, making possible the extraction of the coal and iron that would fuel the next century of industrial growth. And they were, within a few decades, ready to propel a locomotive along an iron road. One improvement to one machine. An entire world remade. Subscribe, like and share. Tags: James Watt Steam Engine, Industrial Revolution, Business History, Technology History, Britain Manufacturing, Sleep Learning, Economic History. Sleep to Business Genius weaves 100 fascinating business history facts into soothing, story-driven narratives. This is fact number 19 of 100. Part of 100 Facts About Business to Fall Asleep To, available as a full narrated video on YouTube.